What is up, guys? Welcome. Crypto FUD. And let's jump right into this, guys. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are having a fantastic start of your week. Let's get into this, guys. Wow, what a day that we've seen today with Bitcoin, with a lot of meme coins. We're going to jump right into this, guys. So, again, as people start trickling in, I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. I, myself, having a decent day, ready to go get some food. I'm kind of hungry, but that's a whole nother story, right? Let's get into this. So Bitcoin right now is sitting around 66,400. What a freaking day we've seen today, guys. Oh my gosh. Have you guys seen the ups and downs that we've had today? Bitcoin literally ran up and slapped that $68,000 mark. I mean, hit it and basically just got rejected, which is perfectly fine, right? Perfectly fine. We're going to cover everything, but just remember, guys, yesterday, we're coming off of a godly candle, right? A godly candle that we held. We didn't run up yesterday and then start to retrace. We ran up yesterday and basically held it and continued the momentum today, right? This is very bullish, guys. Very, very bullish for the whole crypto space, not only just for Bitcoin, but for the whole freaking space, right? So we're going to cover Bitcoin. We're going to jump right into the alts, memes, all that good stuff. So if you have any projects that you want to look at, make sure to let me know in the chat. Real quick, let me jump in on the chat. Gina, what's going on, girl? Ricky, my boy, what's going on, brother? Art, my boy's in the house. Mark, I haven't seen you here in a while. What's going on, brother? Let's see here. Ricky said, I thought so until I looked at my coins. Ay. Well, let's get into this. Like I said, so Bitcoin 66,400 for right now. You guys, like I said, we ran up, hit that 68,000, came up and at least retested it, right? I really didn't think that we were going to break above. You know, it was kind of like, as we were approaching, I was like, man, you know, it just seemed like we were running so strong. So if you'd have asked me maybe prior, I was like, we probably will break it. Now, obviously, you know, looking at it a few hours later, you guys can see we didn't break above that 68,000, but perfectly fine for right now. Like I was saying earlier, you know, we're coming off this massive run. And if you really look at from yesterday's candle to the top of what we hit today, Bitcoin technically ran up from yesterday to the top from today, almost 9% in literally 36 hours, right? 9% for Bitcoin. An asset that's well over $1 trillion. Imagine how much money has come in to Bitcoin, right? So with that being said, things are looking absolutely fantastic, honestly. You guys can see that obviously we ran up and then we have hit our head and we started to retrace. Couple of spots I go over to back and forth to both charts because this chart right here is going to be our chart that we have as far as resistance, support levels. The other chart, I am starting to put little lines on it as far as support and resistance, but I'm going to try to not to so we can keep it simplified for that other chart. But you guys can see for this chart, you know, we ran up, like I said, we came down to come retest this support level, which was resistance at the 66.4. Remember, we spoke about this a few days ago. 66.4 needing to break. We broke it yesterday. You can see since we have broke below it. We did try to hold it as support, and you can see this is on our 30-minute. We did come back up and retest it, but it looks like we got rejected. So what is going on? Well, a couple things. I am going to say very bullish, because, you know, I want to make sure that we stay bullish, but there's a couple things that I've been looking at as far as that has nothing to do with crypto that might throw a freaking curveball at the market. So I just want to make sure you guys are aware of, you know, some stuff that's going on across the world. Like I said, has nothing to do with crypto, but if something, you know, bad happens as far as like war, a new war breaks out, something like that, that not necessarily is going to bring America into it, but could possibly, you know, kind of throw some turmoil in the U.S. markets, let's just say. So with that being said, guys, Bitcoin honestly not looking bad. You know, from the run that we've had in the last 2 days, she's going to retrace, right? She's going to retrace. But look at these swings that we saw for today. I mean, we saw this massive bull flag, not the bull flag itself being massive, but the bull flag. Remember yesterday I was talking about this possibly playing out. And oh my God, this thing shot up. I remember jumping in the Discord like, guys, oh my God, the bull flag just shot up. and you can see this massive run up, but obviously we saw a rejection at the 68 like we talked about. And then look at this. We dropped all the way down to 64,800 only to come right back up to 67,400. Today has been a freaking roller coaster ride, and I can only imagine that people got liquidated back and forth as far as longs and shorts because of the massive swings that we've seen today. If you guys remember, I talked about this. Rodney, what's going on, brother? We talked about this when we were in a bear market. I'm talking about, if you can, I know you're not going to remember, but just go back, a year and a half, maybe a little bit longer. We were talking about this, and I said, guys, listen, when we're in a bull market, you're going to see swings of Bitcoin, $5,000 swings in a day. At the time, we were in a bear market, and we would flip out. Like, we'd be like, hell yeah, Bitcoin just went from 20,000 to 21. We're like, oh, because we were just, it was bad at the time, right? And I was like, guys, this is nothing. Imagine, or just be ready when we get into a bull market, the volume, the fluctuations that we're going to see in Bitcoin from previous bull run 2021, Bitcoin would have days where it would fluctuate $10,000 in a day, right? And I know you're thinking, oh, that's a lot of money to move something that's worth well over $1 trillion, right? That's a lot of money, whether it's up or down. So, with that being said, we're seeing these swings, right? We're seeing these swings. They're perfectly natural. It's going to happen, right? You're going to see these massive swings. And usually, I like to see the markets shoot up fast, but you guys know how I am. I don't want to see them go up too crazy like we saw today, because you're going to see a lot of profit taking, right? When you see that kind of this beautiful staircase kind of move with Bitcoin, that usually is a lot better for Bitcoin, particularly just because you're seeing profits being taken, right? But you're also seeing a lot of money also coming in, and it's kind of counteracting them both. When you see these massive candles, you're going to see pretty much the same thing. A lot of times, usually the opposite direction, because people just ran up, a few percent or 5%, or maybe they bought in down here, and now you see this massive candle. They're up 10, 15%. They're going to take profits, right? And that's how it goes. But for the most part, I think that Bitcoin is still on track. We're still on track. Remember, we read all those bullish articles yesterday. We talked about this. We're still on track for Bitcoin to honestly absolutely kill it in these next few months. So I'm here for it. I know you guys are as well. A lot of us are holding a lot of alts, and imagine Bitcoin, does what we've been talking about, breaking that $100,000 threshold. You're going to see your favorite alts, your favorite meme coins that we've all been buying into, absolutely go parabolic, guys. What we've seen in the last year, I think that's just a small dose of what we're going to see in such a short period of time. And you guys know what I'm talking about. From pretty much now to around March of 2025, is I feel like that's going to be the threshold of us getting to these highs for Bitcoin, and us also going into altcoin season and DeFi season. So you think about 6 months, it might seem like a long time. It's really not a long time, guys, because we're not going to be in altcoin season for 6 months, right? It's going to take us probably a month or two to get into it. And like I said, usually if we tracked it last time in 2021, altcoin season really ran. If you technically look at when alts were absolutely going crazy, yes, they ran up, in the meantime, getting towards altcoin season, but that altcoin season really was only about 2 months, 2-month period. It seemed like it was forever during the time, but it was really only an 8-week, maybe a little bit over 8 weeks around that time before we were at the top of the market and we started to descend, not us knowing at the time that we were getting into a bear market, right? And I'm pretty sure it's going to happen pretty much the same way. We just don't know the exact time frame, but I'm predicting in the next 6 months, we're going to see all that unfold. So it's going to be fast. It's going to be fun. And then we're going to be setting ourselves up for the bear market, right? Now, remember, we're not going to be buying in right when we start descending a little bit. We're going to be holding the line as far as holding your profits and waiting, because that's something that I did during the bear market. I did really well accumulating a lot of projects, but if I would have just had a little bit more patience and waited a little bit longer for us to really bottom out, I would have, 2x'd even more on top of my 10x's that I did on a lot of projects. So, but we'll cover that down the road. Right now, we're going to keep it strictly bullish. So let's see here. Tim said, hey, Crib, glad to see you're safe after Milton. I haven't been on for a bit. Took a break from crypto for a bit. Let's go Turbo. Tim, thank you so much for the kind words. I really do appreciate that. I don't even want to hear that word Milton anymore. We moved past it. Every day when I walk my dog, I see the neighbors and I'm like, oh my, it just hits me these people's houses, guys, I'm not going to get into it. They are destroyed. They've lost everything. And I'm talking about just 2 houses down, the whole freaking for like a mile down the street. It is sad to see. It really is sad to see, but it's the cost of what you pay to live in Florida, right? So luckily, my personal house, we didn't necessarily take that kind of damage. We did take damage, but we didn't lose everything in the house. We didn't lose anything inside the house, actually. You know, we were able to be safe. We have hurricane windows and stuff like that installed on there, but outside was a freaking mess, you know? So I feel terrible for everybody out there. So just wanted to throw that out there. Ricky, and Tim said turbo. Real quick, bro, look at, you guys saw my thumbnail, right? Look at freaking turbo for the weekly. 75 freaking percent. And I want to call out, I keep telling you guys, keep your eye on Flip. He's not in yet. I don't know if he's going to make it in today. But when Flip brings up some of these projects, keep an eye on Flip, guys. Because listen, Flip was talking about turbo, even though we know turbo has been going absolutely crazy in the last like what is it, 3 or 4 months it's been out, or maybe even a little bit longer. It's been going crazy. Freaking Flip brought this up about a month ago, and he's like, yeah, I'm buying in on turbo. And you guys can see turbo has absolutely been freaking ripping, and it always seems to be a correlation. When Flip brings something up, the project just starts going crazy. So keep an eye out. He comes in the chat. He'll usually drop a super chat and say, hey, Crip, can you check out these projects? Write them down. Keep an eye on them, because he's usually on to something. Ricky said, I remember the big green candles, but for some reason I don't want to remember those red ones. Listen, Rick, we're gonna absolutely kill it on the green ones, and we're gonna use those red candles for our advantage. I promise you, bro. Listen, during the bear market, you're gonna see a lot of people come and go, because people just like, and I'm not calling Tim out, I'm saying usually what Tim said, they kind of take a break from crypto. A lot of people during the bear market, they kind of flock away from crypto. They don't want anything to do with it. And that's when you should be all in on crypto, not as far as money wise, but you should be all over it, just keeping an eye on everything, because that's when we're going to get the best deals. And we just set it all up. It's literally, when they tell you it's that easy, a 4-year cycle, I'm here, I'm living it, and I'm telling you it is exactly that easy, right? It's that easy during the bear market to really just start accumulating on some of these really good projects. Especially, I like to jump in on a lot of these fundamental projects, like and I know some people are like, when I say it, but like ICP. I was calling ICP out when it dropped down to $2.90. You can go back and look at all the documentation of the videos from like a year, 2 years ago when we dropped down. And I told you guys, I'm buying the hell out of ICP. And there was a few other projects like Fetch AI, 15 cents, buying the hell out of Fetch. Look at all these projects now. They've all literally 10 more X, you know, and this is when I'm telling you guys, this is what we're going to be doing during the bear market. It stinks. It's not fun. We're not even going to talk about it anymore because we're bullish right now, but that's when you set yourself up for those big gains. And then you obviously have to have, you know, massive patience along with it, right? Because you're not going to, you know, when you're buying in during a bear market, you're not normally going to be just flipping your money, you know, in the next week. It's usually going to be more pain, and you're going to be stacking up more. You know, it's just a draw it out thing. The last bear market lasted us, like, I believe it was like 18 months, you know, for us to really go through the bear market, bottom out, and start breaking out, you know, out of these, the hellhole that we were in. So let's see here. But yes, Amor said, we're here. I feel like I missed out something. We're here, fam. I appreciate you, Amor. Larry said, Hurricane Nadine coming. Bro, Larry, get out of here, bro. I don't want to hear about any hurricanes. No more hurricanes. Amor said, Flip is in the Discord chopping it up with us. I know he is, bro. Craig, bro, I was thinking about you the other day. Something popped up and it was Ondo. And I'm like, Ondo. Craig. I'm like, where the hell has Craig been? Where have you been, bro? Don't disappear on us, man. Amor said, bear markets, that's when you go all in. Oh, hell yeah. But we got to wait for that perfect timing. Perfect timing. And David said, Elmo, ERC, MMIP on Solana. Thank you. All right. I guess he's giving me some tokens to look at. We'll pull it up. real quick, let's look at the watch list real quick for what we have right now. Used cars, damn, used cars dropped like crazy. Earlier, used cars was up 30%. Now it dropped 20%. Look at this. And this is another project, guys, that Flip has been talking about, right? Flip's been talking about this damn used cars, and look at it. I mean, bro, Flip called it like over here. He was like, bro, can we start looking at used cars? And look, it's jumped up like 300% since then. But what's crazy is this thing shot up, and it just dropped 20%, looking like it's about to come back down and retest the 382 right here. So if Flip comes in, we will talk about that. I'm sure he's going to want to talk about it. David, so Elmo ERC, you're talking about Elmo on Ethereum, I'm guessing? Let's pull it up, bro. You know what's crazy, bro, is I don't ever remember bringing up this project, but obviously we've talked about this project at some point. So you can see. So with this project, just quickly looking at it, I don't remember anything about it, but market cap right under $1 million, not looking too bad. Liquidity 120K, not looking too bad. I will say what the project's been out. This is an OG project for DeFi. It's been out over a year, about a year and a half. So right now you can see it's been going in these swings, right? Where you had the initial takeoff when the project dropped, right? Usually see that in DeFi. Then you see all the profit taken, kind of drops to the abyss. You saw this massive run, right? Not making all-time highs, but this massive run. But obviously you can see the candle wick, so this was very fast. It dropped back down, basically came back and retested the 618, and since then has been kind of dropping down into the abyss. So a couple things that I will say about this project, bro, is it's been around for a while, right? It's been around for a while, so it obviously probably has a big, a decent following behind it. Volume right now, only $4,000, right? So a couple things I will say. A project being $1 million with only $4,000 in volume, a little iffy, right? A little iffy. You know, I'm not saying that nothing is wrong long term for this project, but you might be sitting on this project for a little while until it can kind of generate, a buzz again, right? Now, I wouldn't be surprised if this project at some point, right? We don't know when, but at some point does something similar to this where it kind of finds that support at around that 24 area that we just marked, the bottom of the fib, pretty much in between the bottom of the fib and the 786, goes on another spurt, right? So you can see if we map out, let's just map out how long this was. This was basically, they're going to give me my time frame. Oh, 24 days. So this was 24 days that it kind of did this move. And if we move this over and we kind of look, we'll just go from here. Right now you're at somewhere around, let me see, 21 days for right now. So, I mean, it looks similar. Not that it's going to play out exactly, but if I was, if I was already in the project, I would kind of just be waiting for some kind of a crazy run up. But I do think it's going to be something similar where it runs up and it runs up fast. People take profits and then it kind of comes back down. So, but you can find that support around the 24 area, as far as accumulation. Anything below would probably be a good spot, not financial advice, to accumulate and just kind of wait for this big run that's going to come. If it does come, it's probably going to find this trend line somewhere around or somewhere below this trend or around the 618, which would be somewhere around that 1.2 cent mark. So that's pretty much what I would say for this project. Just keep an eye on it, Hopefully it does a nice little run if you're already invested in. If you're looking to jump in on it now, I mean, it's you, right? But the fact that it has low volume on such like $1 million project, kind of, that deteriorates me. If this project was at, $100,000, I'd say, $4,000, not too bad because the market cap's real low, right? But the fact that the market cap's at $1 million, $4,000 isn't too much, right? You want to see a lot more volume build up, and projects go through this, right? NFK goes through it where we have really low volume, and it kind of just feels like nothing's happening, and then out of nowhere, it just spurts, and we start seeing a lot of volume. I'm sure this is probably similar to that, so. Craig said, I still have all my Ondo. I'm opposite. I disappeared during the bull runs. I hear you, bro. I know you got stuff going on out there. And then we'll check out MMIP real quick. And then we need to jump into some articles. Memes make it possible. Memes make it possible. I like their little backdrop here. It's been out for about 4 months. Oops. Let's see here. So with this project, I mean, look, you see how this project, the market cap's 300, 400,000, and it has $20,000 in volume, right? So not too bad, not too bad. That's it, kind of comparing to the other project, $1 million, $4,000 in volume, right? Excuse me. Whew. Felt that one coming. Excuse me. So with this project, excuse me, you can see us. Oh my God, I'm losing my voice now. Whew. Like hit the back of the throat. No Diddy on that one. So you guys can see. Oh, look who just jumped in. Flip, the guy we were just talking about. Oh, Flip. So you guys can see, or you can see David for this project support around the 786. But you can see it's having a struggle to really stay above, break above, and stay above the 618, right? So it's been chopping around in this channel, 618 somewhere around the 50 mark, and the 786 somewhere around that 29 mark. So you can see it's been kind of chopping around in this channel, kind of consolidating, waiting to see what's going to happen, right? So, I mean, with this project, like I said, you definitely want to see it break above the 618 at around that 50 area. The next spot for some support, resistance is going to be where it's been hitting its head as well at the 0.5 at around the 63 area. So spots for some support, maybe dollar cost averaging in, not financial advice. Anything below that 30 area would probably be a good accumulation zone as far as just accumulating more of the project if this is something long term for you. But doesn't look bad. Liquidity is locked in at around 80K, so doesn't look too bad, bro. You didn't do anything, bro. You didn't do anything. We were talking about Turbo. And I said, bro, Flip has been talking about Turbo for the last few weeks. And look at this weekly on here. The Turbo's up 75%. Rodney said no Diddy on that one, Crip. Right when it rolled off my tongue about the hit in the back of the throat, I was like, hold on here. Hold on. No Diddy on that one. No Diddy on that one. Real quick, guys, make sure you guys slap those likes. I really greatly appreciate that. If you can take care of that and just slap those likes. So a good article that I wanted to bring up, guys. 94% of Bitcoin holders are in profit right now. Will they sell? So the number of Bitcoin addresses in profit have significantly increased following its price surge above 65K. According to data provided by the Into the Block, over 50.67 million Bitcoin addresses have accumulated the asset below 65K, or really 65.5, accounting for 94% of the total Bitcoin holders. The remaining 6%, around 3.3 million addresses, purchased Bitcoin for an average of price of 68,000 with a total volume of 1.58 million Bitcoin per data. Of this tally, over 80,000 daily active addresses are in profit, and around 247,000 holders are close to their initial investments. At this point, only 3,400 of the active addresses are losing money. So isn't this crazy, guys? 94% of people that are just holding Bitcoin, not like they're holding just Bitcoin, but that have Bitcoin in their wallets, are in profits right now. Isn't that's crazy? And the fact is that this was when we broke above the 65K mark, right? The fact is that we broke above that 65K. You see 90+% of holders are in profit, and we didn't see any kind of a crazy retracement, right? If anything, we saw Bitcoin run up and retest 68K, and that might be why this article was made earlier. You can see they said that 6% of people their average price is around 68K. That might be why when we ran up earlier and we slapped 68K, or damn near it, 67,900, we saw a fast rejection, right? You might see that a lot of people that are possibly, maybe they were like, shit, I bought in at a little bit too high, right? So if Bitcoin gets anything close to where I bought in, I'm going to just probably reposition myself. So that could have been the reason why we saw that 68,000 get rejected immediately today. Per this article, 6% of people, 3.37 million addresses were around that 68,000 mark, and I'm almost bet you that a big chunk of them probably sold today with the purpose of repositioning themselves probably a little bit lower. Even if they sold at 68 and they bought back, we saw that that fast bounce. We dropped down to about 64.7. You probably saw a lot of them coming right back in, basically repositioning themselves like, whew, all right, 68 was a little too high, 64, just perfect, right? Just perfect. So that could be a big reason why we saw that. So, but I think it's awesome that regardless, we have over 90% of wallets right now that hold Bitcoin are in profit above 65K. And we're still holding right now currently 66,400 for Bitcoin. So definitely a good thing, guys. And that just tells you that people are anticipating that Bitcoin is going to go much higher, right? So a pretty similar movement was also noticed in late September as Bitcoin plunged from 65.8 on September 28th to 60K on October the 3rd. As the investors and traders aimed for short-term profits, the current chart hints at a local top as the market has been moving without long-term catalysts. One of the key drivers behind the Bitcoin price surge is a sudden increase in short liquidations. Remember, we talked about this yesterday. Bitcoin, from this big godly candle that we saw just yesterday right here, we saw the article. It said that, what was it, $80 million, which doesn't seem like a lot, but just in that one candle, $80 million of shorts got liquidated, right? And that's what also drove the price even higher, right? So, and per crypto.news report, over 145 million in crypto assets has been liquidated in the past 24 hours. So on top of that 80, another 70 million people got liquidated. Probably the same people that probably like, all right, I lost that one. And then we ran up to what, 66. They're like, I'm gonna throw 100x short. And what did we do today? We ran up to 68, just sealing the deal for these people, these bears. They basically say, listen, get it through your thick, furry head, you bear. All right? We're bullish right now. You'll have time to get your little bearish stuff on, but we're bullish right now, and you're going to keep getting your ass handed to if you keep trying to drop these shorts on us. It's pretty much what Bitcoin's saying. So, moreover, the $555.9 million inflows in spot Bitcoin exchange-traded funds in the U.S. also triggered bullish sentiment around investors and traders as well. Despite the latest correction, the Bitcoin price is still up 1.8% in the past 24 hours and is trading at 65,750 at the time of writing, which was earlier because we're obviously at 66,500 right now. The asset's market cap is sitting around 1.3 trillion with a daily trading volume of almost $40 freaking billion in a day, guys. Absolutely crazy. Bitcoin's just, it's a beast. It really is. It's a freaking beast. Bitcoin has a lot on his shoulders, right? And I say this to everybody. Even if you're not invested in Bitcoin, you want to always keep your eye on Bitcoin, right? Because we all know this. Bitcoin dictates the market, right? Dictates the market. So if you're invested in your MILADY, your Myro, your Turbos, and all these meme coins and stuff like that, they might not run exactly suit with Bitcoin, but they're definitely keeping an eye out on Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin continues to stay strong and bullish, we're going to see meme coins continue to rally. And that's where you're going to see these 10, 20, 30, 40, 100Xs coming soon, as long as Bitcoin can continue to move where we're at right now. So things look absolutely great, guys. They absolutely look great. I wanted to bring this article up because definitely some bullishness that we need for right now, given, just the last few months that we've been going through as far as, just this downward action. So David said, I bought the John Cena token on Solana, about $22,000 market cap token that Crypto with Lorenzo made as his community token. All right. Ricky said, I took profits on Turbo to accumulate more, but I don't know if I'll ever get there. Let's pull up Turbo's chart real quick, because Turbo, I will tell you, out of all the meme coins right now, look at this. Holy crap. Flip, are you still holding Turbo? You still holding Turbo, bro? I mean, look at this, bro. Turbo, what is the market cap at nowadays? Let's pull this up. Turbo's market cap, 794 million. It hasn't broke that $1 billion mark. And I'm pretty sure it has never broke the billion yet. So we're at all-time highs pretty much. As of today, Turbo broke all-time highs. It's freaking crazy. Absolutely crazy. This thing is, I mean, think about everybody that bought in way down here, and the very few people that are probably still holding. I mean, you want to see some eye-dropping freaking profits? Look at that. Just, nothing crazy. 10,000% profits, I mean, where else can you go and freaking get a 10,000% profit? And also, look at the time frame. The time frame is from August, guys. From freaking August, right? I'm like looking to make sure. This is August. Oh, this is August 2023. All right. I was like, there's no way it's only been freaking a few months. So, I mean, in the last year, 10,000+% on Turbo. Absolutely crazy. That is crazy. David asks, I was asking if you will make your own token. Thank you. So, I mean, I don't have my own token, David, but we have a token for the channel. No FUD Koala. You can look it up. It's on Solana. NFK. You can look it up, bro. Flip is in the house. What's going on, brother? Okay, he said he still owns a bunch. Nice, bro. I was telling everybody to keep their eye out on anything you ask. Anything you ask, you're like, hey, Crip, can you look at this? I'm telling them to pull out their notebooks and write down anything that you ask to look at. Keep an eye on it, because you seem to be pulling up some of those bangers. So, looking at the fear and greed index, guys, look at this, bro. The other day, what was it, like a week ago, we had dipped down into the fear, and look at this. We're getting close to greed. We're getting close to greed, which is perfectly fine. This right here is basically like an indicator to me on how the bullish are bullish, how the markets are feeling right now, right? When you start seeing, pretty much neutral, you have half and half, right? Half the market's kind of like, maybe bearish, half the market is bullish, or you have a lot of people sitting on the sidelines, not really going crazy. But when you start seeing us getting in towards that greed and extreme greed, that's when it's telling you, all right, the markets are getting bullish. A lot of people have a lot of confidence back in the market. And usually you're seeing the price reflect as far as with Bitcoin and your favorite alts. And that's exactly what we're seeing today. So definitely looks good. Remember, guys, we're going to be keeping an eye on this, because usually extreme greed will usually indicate whether even if it's just some kind of a blow off top or whatever the case is. So we want to keep an eye on that as far as extreme greed, and as with profit taking and stuff like that. So I don't think we're going to be anywhere near there anytime soon, but just something to keep an eye on. So looking at the daily, something I wanted to point out is so Bitcoin today had a pretty decent day. Like I keep saying, we ran up to about 68,000. But one thing I did notice is that some of the alts didn't do that well. They didn't really react, right, as far as when Bitcoin was running. You can see we have like Dog with Hats down 8%, Ordinals 5%. Nero, this has been killing it for the last like week or two. So I mean, I understand why it's down, but you really see a lot of these alts like Sui, Say down. They're all down. They're not really going crazy today, right? You go back, you look at the weekly. We bring up the weekly, and all these projects are up like crazy, right? But you look at the daily, and they didn't really react for today. And I don't know the exact meaning of why, because I was like, well, you know what? Bitcoin's dominance, and you know what? It did a switcheroo on me, because earlier when I was setting up the stream, I'm looking at Bitcoin dominance, and it was at 56.9. Look at Bitcoin's dominance now, guys. 57.4. We'll pull up the chart. 57.4 for dominance, guys, right now. Bitcoin's dominance. So I know this chart. I hate this chart, how they have it, but you can see blue. The more blue, basically, the more Bitcoin dominance is in the market, right? As far as So you're looking at the market cap as a whole, right? The crypto space right now, we're at around 2.3 trillion. And when you look at this, it's telling us that 57.4% of that 2.3 trillion is all in Bitcoin, right? Alts, obviously, we want to see Bitcoin dominance come down. We want to see Bitcoin's dominance come down. We want to see the market cap for a whole come up. Well, we're seeing the market cap coming up, but we're also seeing Bitcoin dominance rising as well. And remember, we talked about this a few weeks ago. Bitcoin's dominance made a local high of around 57.6%. We have jumped right back up to 57.4%. You guys can see, if you can see on this chart, you see how the green is kind of coming down. The green basically is Ethereum, but I'm pointing that out as those are pretty much showing you the alts dominance is going down, and Bitcoin's dominance is basically taking void of all that space that it's losing. So with that being said, not a terrible thing. You know, we want to see Bitcoin run. We want to see Bitcoin run. We need Bitcoin to get to some of these numbers that we haven't been yet, like breaking all-time highs. You know, and in order for that to happen, you're going to see Bitcoin's dominance continue to rise, right? How high can Bitcoin's dominance get? Well, you guys can see, if you look back in 2020, this is 2020, right? No, this is 2021. Bitcoin's dominance jumped to this spike right here. This was actually before the pandemic, but you can see Bitcoin's dominance spiked to 72%, right? So I'm not anticipating that Bitcoin's dominance is going to drop down to get up to 70% per se, but we could possibly see Bitcoin's dominance get into the 60% as Bitcoin runs up to 100K, possibly, right? So I don't think it's anything to worry about with your alts, but if you're wondering, man, why is Bitcoin running up? You know, why is Bitcoin at 80K and you know, my altcoin is only up, you know, very little bit? It's because a lot of investors are putting their money into Bitcoin right now because the shine's back on Bitcoin. Nothing wrong with that. Perfectly fine, guys. We've seen in the altcoins, we've seen them run up in the last few weeks. I think they're going to kind of maybe go sideways. You'll see maybe days where they're up, you know, a few percent as we continue. But I'm thinking that Bitcoin right now, if it continues on this track, it's going to take the limelight of the whole crypto space for right now as it starts to run up and break new all-time highs. And with Bitcoin dominance getting so high, with the looking at the fear and greed index, it's all setting up to look like Bitcoin is setting up to hit all-time highs soon. But I'm here to tell you, after Bitcoin does that, usually you see a lot of profit taking from Bitcoin, and you'll see a lot of people, a lot of money flowing into your alts. And that's usually what will start kicking off as altcoin season, as a lot of these profits will move from Bitcoin, stay in the market, but they'll go into some of these other alts when people are searching for these 10Xs, you know, and these crazy returns that they know that these smaller cap altcoins are going to bring, right? So Ricky said it's a sad day when Bitcoin is pumping and alts are dumping. You know, not necessarily, bro. I feel like with all of us, especially, you know, a lot of us owning, you know, majority or all alts, I think a lot of us get a little bit, not confused, but we get so, we're like, people think that the alts just run exactly with Bitcoin. They're like, man, Bitcoin's up today. Why the hell is Solana not freaking, you know, making all-time highs? And it's like, give it time, right? I remember during 2021, Bitcoin was running up and making all-time highs, and I'm like, why is Ethereum not, you know, at all-time highs? You know, and it was doing good, but it was like not near any all-time highs. And you give it like a week or two, and Ethereum starts freaking just going crazy, you know? And that's usually what it is with Bitcoin and the alts. It's like a kind of a lag effect where they will react positively, but you won't see them going crazy parabolic. Bitcoin kind of takes the shine, and then you give it a few weeks, as long as Bitcoin can hold some solid numbers, alts just go freaking crazy, right? So let's give Bitcoin its shine. Let's let Bitcoin do its thing. Let's let it do its thing, because it's all in return going to flow over into all of our favorite projects. So another thing I'm looking at, look at this market cap. The market cap for the this is for the whole crypto space. A freaking bull flag is painted out. Same thing for same kind of chart as what we have for Bitcoin, you can see for the market cap for crypto, a beautiful bull flag right here that's painted out. Hopefully that plays out and we see a massive all-time high for the market cap for the whole crypto space, right? Because we technically have not broke our all-time high yet, and the reason is all-time high was back in 2021 when we were in, you got it, Ricky, we were in altcoin season, right? So Bitcoin was doing great, but alts were going absolutely crazy. Massive money was in the market. We hit a market cap of around 2.6 trillion. We're not far from there, but we're not there yet, right? And even when Bitcoin broke all-time highs this time around, it only got up to, and I say only, but it got up to 2.4 trillion, right? So we couldn't even break that all-time high per market cap for the crypto space, and that was because Bitcoin broke all-time highs, but a lot of alts did not, right? And I don't think people really understand how much freaking money is going to be coming in when we get into altcoin season, right? Everybody thinks Bitcoin, 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 but no, you have a lot of these newer investors that come in and they don't buy in on Bitcoin, right? They look at Bitcoin and they're like, shit, Bitcoin's at 70, 80, 100K. They don't want to buy in on it. And even if you tell them, well, you can buy a Satoshi, you can buy a freaking small little chunk of Bitcoin and own it. They're like, nope, I'd rather, what is this turbo, right? Holy shit, I can get, for $100, I can get, this many turbos. That's what they're looking for. And if you ever wonder why meme coins do that when they come out as far as their circulating supply and they have like 9 zeros, they do that because it attracts new investors. It's a little bit easier on the eyes when you have an investor coming in and they only have $100 to spend, but that $100 gives them 17 billion, whatever you pick, whatever, token they're looking at or coin, so that's what usually happens. You'll see a lot of this new money coming in whenever we're already established, like, Bitcoin's at 100K and they're going to be looking for, these plays to jump in on, but they're going to want to get the bang for their buck, right? So they look at it as how many, I want to get the most tokens possible. So they're looking for freaking meme coins that have a bunch of zeros in front of them. So, but it'll all play out, guys. Everything's looking great as far as, just everything that we have going on, right? Everything that we're going on, you can feel it in the air. You can feel it in the air. Everything is looking great. So with that being said, Bitcoin, we during a little bit earlier, remember we broke, and I was telling you guys we were kind of hitting our head at this 66,400 area, but look at that. We're looking like we want to find some support above this 66.4. This is on a 30-minute chart right here. So doesn't look bad at all, guys. Doesn't look bad. Let me pull up my other, what chart is this? I'm starting to get confused on all the charts I have for Bitcoin. There we are. I pull up this chart because it's a little bit easier on the eyes. You can see this beautiful bull flag that we've been talking about for the last 6 months. And we have our channels, right? This time around, this is the first time, even though we haven't made new highs yet, you can see every time we come in this channel, we get rejected, right? Get rejected. We broke above the freaking channel, guys. We broke above the channel, and it looks like we're finding support on the top of the channel, right? So obviously we have some work ahead of us. This 68,000 is going to be a big spot. We just read the article. If you you can always, if you're just joining in, make sure you hit that like one. But you can always watch the earlier stream. We covered an article about basically telling us that 4% of wallets that hold Bitcoin are technically at the $68,000 level as an average price. And I'm basically saying that's most likely why we saw a big rejection at 68K, right? We saw people either taking profits that are in profit, right? Or people that maybe bought in on these last few months when we did run up at 68K. Now we've seen a lot of dips. We jump up to 68K. They're probably like, holy crap, I want to at least get my money back and let me jump in when it drops in a little bit lower. So, but we are looking good, guys. We're looking good. Once this bull flag plays out, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be epic. We're going to be breaking probably 100K easy. So, but I still do think that $100,000 is going to be just like that 68 level where it's going to be a big spot where we're going to see a lot of profit taken around the 100K mark. So, but we'll talk about that when the time comes. But with that being said, guys, let's see here. Shout out to Philly. Let's see here. I can't read your name, brother, but shout out from Philly. What's going on? Zbeck Network. Check out ZBEC Network. We'll pull it up real quick. I'm pretty sure we pulled this up. Oh yeah, look at that. Look how long it's been since I pulled up this chart. Sometimes I like you guys bring up these tokens, these coins that I haven't like looked at in so long, and you can see this was back in April, so it hasn't been too long, I guess. I felt like this was like back in 2021. I don't like this fib retracement at all. Well, maybe that's why. Maybe that's why. You gotta fix it. So ZBEC market cap's hella low, bro. 68,000 or 68 million, which is not a bad thing. I always like those little small cap gems. So you can see back in, what was this? Kind of like March, April, when the whole market kind of Bitcoin just came off of all-time highs. This thing made all-time highs at around 0.3 cents. Since then, it has retraced somewhat, but you can see the bottom of the fib. And really, if we map it out right here, you can see this thing's kind of pretty much bottomed out and found some support above the fib. The bottom of the fib right here at around this 0.8 or 0.0008, the 87 mark. So it doesn't look bad. You can see the 786 has become a big spot for some resistance at that 12 mark. So definitely a small cap project. You're going to see these big fluctuations just because there's not a lot of liquidity, a lot of market cap in there. So, but the project doesn't look too bad. You know, if this is something long term for you. What's the volume at? About 9 million. So not too bad. Not too bad, bro. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. Listen, we're going to be good. Everything's going to be good, guys. Meme coins right now, if we're having somewhat of a small retracement, I know I'm kind of itching. I'm watching some of these, like especially like Myro, Turbo. Obviously, I feel like Turbo's out of my hands right now because it's just been going crazy. But there are a few other like meme coins, particularly even MILADY right now that I've been watching because I told you guys I want to get a my bag back of MILADY, and she looks like we're probably getting towards an area that I'm probably gonna just start dabbling in. The only reason why I haven't jumped in on MILADY now, I know I'm making excuses, is I was normally buying it on crypto.com. Recently, I made a big sale on crypto.com, and bro, I just the amount of money it costs to and I'm talking about, you know, some decent money. The amount of money that they're charging to freaking sell and really just to sell. You buy in, it's not too much, but when you sell off, like let's say you're selling off at like, you know, 10 grand, bro, they're giving you back like 7,500, like 7,800. Like it's insane, you know, like it's absolutely insane. I don't like how they have their numbers, you know, as far as like certain things. And the point of what I'm getting to is I normally buy my MILADY on crypto.com. I might be switching over to a different exchange because I don't care. Like you look at their numbers and it's always inflated, right? Like like you look at MILADY right now, the price for MILADY right now on TradingView is at 88. If you go on crypto.com, it's probably at like 94, right? And when you buy in, are you buying it at 94? And then when you sell, when they sell, if the price was at 88, you'd be selling at like 68. You know, like it's just these crazy fluctuations that like they're really chipping out a lot of your profits whenever you take them. So I'm kind of looking at, you know, a different exchange. If you guys have any recommendations, you know, in the States as far as, you know, maybe something that's not taking so much. I really have been honestly sticking to like DeFi, my swaps and stuff like that. Now I don't MILADY's on Ethereum, right? I don't really want to go and you know, swap on Ethereum just because the fees on Ethereum are crazy, and maybe that's why there's such a big spread on something like that. But the last project that I did was on Bitcoin, right? And it was just such a big spread from the profit that I was taking that I was just like, bro, I might be looking for something else here to trade off of, because crypto.com is just, it's insane. It's insane. And I can only imagine if you go and try to sell like $100,000 on crypto.com, be prepared. They're going to take like $20,000 from you off of that. So it's insane. It really is. $20,000 off of a transaction. That's craziness. Amor said, Art said F Wog. Amor said trading on CDC crypto.com is the worst. Even selling 2,000, you're only getting like 1,200 max. Yeah, I know, bro. It's like, it's just, and then I'm also like looking at the numbers. I'm like, bro, no. If you guys are doing like a 5%, 5% is one thing, bro, but you guys are taking like 20%. Like that's insane. It's absolutely crazy. Amor said, I wonder how the KuCoin fees are. I don't think you can use KuCoin in the States, if I'm not mistaken. I think they took KuCoin out. It's just craziness. I know I used to day trade on Coinbase. And, they charge you, but it's like 5%, and it's 5%. So if you sell, $10,000, it's like what, $500 is what they're going to charge you. That's, you're making a $10,000 sale on freaking, like I said, crypto.com. I'm not lying, guys. It's like freaking, like, it was like $1,500+ to make the sale. Like, that's what they charged. It was just, I don't know. I don't mean to keep going on a rant, but it was like, it pissed me off to where I was like, bro, I don't think I'm going to be using you guys. I might take my money off the platform. So we'll see. If anybody's watching me from crypto.com, get a hold of me. You guys need to figure something out here. But with that being said, guys, let me see. Jason said, I had $15,000 worth of MILADY back in March, and they wanted 3.7 thousand in fees. Bro, that's what I'm saying, bro. They're robbing us. They're robbing us. $3,000 for a freaking fee for you to sell. That's outrageous. That is astronomically highway robbery right there, bro. Flip said they're all brutal, and I believe it. That's why I saw the other day, I think it was Altcoin Daily. I don't remember if it was them or somebody, one of the bigger YouTubers were just talking about how they they love trading on DeFi and through the swaps, because you know how much if you sold $10,000 on a freaking swap right now, like on Solana, you're going to get back like $9,800. Like it's literally, the fees are like so minute compared to the central exchanges, so it's pros and cons, right? Pros and cons. I know they need to make their money, but I like what Jason was saying and what I had to go through, it's just, it's craziness. And then what was messed up is that I sold off, right? There was like a 15% drop, and I was like, let me get back in on the project. It dropped 15%. Bro, it was costing me more money to get back in with that 15% drop. Like, I was using the same liquidity, and it was giving me less coins, right? And I was just like, bro, this is insane. Like, this is craziness. So, but I'll do some more investigations, or a little bit more investigating on like the fees for central exchanges, because at the end of the day, we need central exchanges as well, right? So maybe need to just jump back onto Coinbase. I haven't really been using Coinbase as much, but I might have to just transfer everything back over there, but we'll see how it goes. But with that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys for coming in today. I really do. I thank you guys so much. Listen, if we see somewhat of a small retracement for Bitcoin, we'll be all right. Doesn't look like it's happening right now whatsoever. Hopefully we come back up and retest this 68K. But like I said, small retracements here and there are natural, especially given the last day and a half that we've had. Bitcoin's been absolutely ripping. If your favorite altcoin right now is maybe today not doing, going crazy, have patience. It's all right. Excuse me. It's all right. Bitcoin right now is dominating the market. Let Bitcoin have its shine, because it's all going to trickle back into our alts. I promise. I promise, guys. So with that being said, again, thank you so much. Make sure if you're new here, hit that subscribe. Hit the like on the way out. I will see you guys back here tomorrow. All right, guys? Be safe out there.